From the same dark waters drifts a colony that looks like a tangle of pale threads. Bathyphysa conifera, the so-called flying spaghetti monster. Yes, that's its actual common name. Its tentacles carry batteries of nematocysts for stunning prey, fishing the dark with long, unbranched stinging lines. And it's not one animal, but many, specialized zooids joined into a single organism, with a gas float above and a trailing line of feeding and reproductive bodies below. A true interstellar arc, or generation ship. Even their reproduction follows the logic of a ship seeding new worlds. Colonies are unisexual, all male or all female, and grow reproductive zooids called gonophores in clustered branches along the body. These produce eggs or sperm that are released into the water where fertilization occurs. From the fertilized egg develops a protozoid, a single founding polyp that buds the rest of the colony, all the feeding, defensive, and reproductive modules until a new siphonophore is built from many lives acting as one. For these wanderers, the seafloor is not a home as it is for the mud dwellers, but a station, or perhaps a drive-through. They return again and again, brief visitors to the mud-bound world before drifting back into the void. To the creatures anchored below, they must seem as fleeting and strange as migrating birds do to us. Beings from another place, alighting only in passing, leaving wonder in their wake. If we follow the abyssal plains until the rock beneath it runs exposed, and so far unentombed by all that silt, we come, eventually, to the very seams of the earth, where the crust is being pulled apart. Here, where seawater seeps into cracks in the crust, it is superheated to extraordinary temperatures. Often more than 400 degrees Celsius before rushing back into the ocean. The erupting water carries with it a wealth of dissolved minerals, stolen from the rocks far below. As the hot fluid meets the cold seawater, those minerals crystallize out, building tall chimneys of stone and metal. Great plumes rise from their crowns. Some of these are black smokers. They emit dark, billowing clouds rich in sulfides of iron, copper, and zinc. Together, these vents form entire fields, sometimes hundreds of meters across. But their greatest marvel lies not in their mineral towers, but in what life gathers to them. The life that makes sanctuary in the chemical mix. A living fuzz coats the rock. It is formed of vast colonies of chemosynthetic microbes, stretching out in hair-like filaments. Unlike almost all life on Earth, they have no need of sunlight. Instead, they draw their energy from the vent's chemical torrents. Hydrogen sulfide, methane, iron, and transform them into sugars through a process called chemosynthesis. This quiet alchemy is the foundation of an entire community, sustained not by the sun above, but by the fire, water, and stone below. Wondrous are the creatures that have surrendered mouth and stomach entirely. The giant tube worms, Riftia pachyptila, They root themselves in the vents, their bodies sheathed in long white tubes that grow to 3 meters, or nearly 10 feet. It's hard to tell through a screen, but some of these worms stand so tall as to dwarf any human being that has ever lived. At their tips, a crown of crimson feathery plumes unfurls, rich with blood pigments that draw in the vent's chemical breath. Beneath, the body is pale and hollow, for these worms have neither mouth nor gut. Instead, within lies an organ called a trophosome, home to billions of the bacteria. The microbes feast on the sulfides drawn from the vents, and in return they feed their host. The worms cannot live without the microbes. Neither, for that matter, can its neighbor, the Pompeii worm. This builds fragile U-shaped tubes along the walls of black smokers, where the water temperature can soar above 80 degrees Celsius. Yet it survives because of these microbes. Along its back, it grows a fleece of these bacteria, fed and encouraged by the worm's own mucus secretions. In return, they insulate the worm from the extreme heat, detoxify the chemicals, and provide nourishment. To us, it seems impossible, but here, it is simply another niche filled. Creatures of the deep are rather good at making the most of any habitat or resource. Deep-sea skates, relatives of rays, use the outskirts of vents or hot seeps at seamounts to incubate their eggs among the warm rocks. It's an approach shared by some octopuses too.